Good evening, Honest Rage. How are you? Hell of a name you got there. It is it is Friday, July the 16th, 2021. And tonight we are going to just do a little bit of an update and some on the summer Wells case and a little bit of little bit of light speculation, and I continue to work on the Barry Morphew case. So, one thing I've noticed, first of all, if you can hear me and my sound is okay, can you put a 1, please? Hi, Priscilla. I'm doing awesome. How are you? Thank you for asking. Hey, Tennessee. Hi, Chatty Carrie. How are you? Hi, Kelly. Hey, Elizabeth Grossman, Robin, Honest Rage, Pineapple Princess. Hope everyone is doing well. Got lots of ones. That's awesome. Hey, Cat's Eye. Well, thanks. Thank you, Dawn, Marilyn, everybody, Deb. I hope everyone is doing super on this beautiful late Friday evening, early Friday night, I suppose. Um, probably for once we are truly going to do a short live. Got a couple of notes going on and we'll just kind of go through it, see how long it takes us. And I want to caution everybody. So I know that the Summer Wells case, everybody's on pins and needles, right? 3, 4, 5 times a day, you're Googling her name, looking for any kind of updates. The minute you wake up in the morning, you put her name in, see if anything's changed. Try to also remember that there are other really important things that are going on in some of the high profile cases. Excuse me. Barry Morphew has a hearing on July the 22nd. I believe I looked that up. I believe that is Tuesday. Let me make sure. Hold on. It's Thursday. So July the 22nd, next Thursday, we actually have a hearing in the Barry Morphew case. Now, if you guys have not, if you don't know who the hell Barry Morphew is, well, you need to Google his name and the name of Suzanne Morphew. Suzanne is an absolutely beautiful woman, 49 years old. They lived in Colorado, had 2 young women. One was still in high school. The other one had her first year in college. And on May the 10th, 2020, which was Mother's Day last year, Suzanne poofed into thin air. She simply vanished without a trace. After she vanished, Barry Morphew behaved in what many of us say was a very unusual fashion. Um, he, it's a story all on its own. The judge in the case, one of the only times that I've ever heard of it, even Scott Reich, who is a criminal defense attorney in Colorado, said that he had never seen this, and that is that the defense actually came out and wanted to block the charging affidavit. Normally, that's the prosecution. It was 130 pages long. The judge came out and said it was absolutely the longest arrest affidavit that he had ever seen. And to make it all the more confusing, they do not have a body. So he has been arrested. He was arrested nearly 1 year to the day, if my memory serves me, I want to say, was he arrested May the 5th this year, right? Just about a week before the official 1 year anniversary. So, like I said, we have not yet read, we've not been given access to the arrest affidavit, although he has now been in jail longer than 2 months. Um, the judge said that he wanted the prosecution to tone down the arrest affidavit. It's too long, it has too much information in it that would never be admissible in a court of law, and get it cleaned up, and then he would give the okay for it to be distributed. He also warned against the two daughters that they were living through a shocking change of events, and that the arrest affidavit, they would need time to adjust and prepare after having read the arrest affidavit. So that was another reason that was given for not releasing the arrest affidavit previously. So there is some speculation that perhaps on the 22nd we may get a peek at the arresting documents. Okay? So, Jules and room, Suzanne ran into narco. You will never hear the whole affidavit because it has the word cartel. You know, Monty, months ago, and I believe it was even like, if I had to guess, I would say maybe February or March. I'd have to go back and look at my videos. You know, I made the conversation that chlorine is used to test the quality of methamphetamine, and people were very confused. Why did the hotel room smell like chlorine? And I wondered at the time, was there a connection between Barry Morphew and what may be a large drug operation, right? I think there are also connections to organized crime in Indiana. So it may get very interesting, even though they cut out the 130 pages and they try to, trim the fat. I think this is going to turn out to be interesting at best. Never in the history of my adulthood have I ever heard of a guy who was going bankrupt, who had owned his own business and had run it into the ground with his erratic, crazy behavior, unorganized, and that in order to solve his bankruptcy problem, he turns around and borrows money and buys a $1.9 million house. I've never heard that story. And so that was what got me to thinking about, how did Barry get the money for that house? Because he didn't borrow it from the bank. He did not. In fact, when he got all his money together from all his buddies, he was short $100,000, and he went to Suzanne's father and got a loan. That was after using Suzanne's $500,000, right? So my question is, what did old Barry do to get that kind of money from someone that had that money to give? Right? Okay, so I'm not surprised to hear what you're saying about the possibility of organized crime in Barry Morphew. I also recognize that Barry Morphew actually was awarded several really big government contracts to work on the interstate highway system. A lot of people get rich off of those contracts, but they do follow the good old boy system. Now, they don't want to, because they don't want the whole graft and corruption problem. And so they make nepotism, a crime and that kind of thing. But look, we already know that he was working with one of his friends from Indiana doing the overpass that was there in Broomfield by the Holiday Inn. That was a good old boy. His connection for that job, that incidentally he completed without a Colorado business license, that was done through a buddy of his from Noblesville, Indiana. So it does seem to be some of that under the table, wink and a nod. It is so hard to make sense of someone losing their business, looming bankruptcy, and in order to solve that, he buys a $1.9 million house and moves to Colorado, to some of the most expensive real estate in the world. How does that happen? Like, if he can make that happen when he's, losing his company, surely you and I would be able to buy $1 million house somewhere, right? And all of you are going, huh? No. I got my hands full, Jules, just trying to pay the grocery bill, just trying to pay the electricity bill. Now, I'm with you. I'm asking myself, this guy is swimming in lawsuits. His wife is embarrassed and humiliated because of all the arguing, all the trouble that this guy's gotten into. He can't find people willing to work with him in Indiana. And he says he's going out to Colorado for a fresh start. Going to start up a new business out there, doing the same work, but a place where no one knows that he's erratic and perhaps violent. Could you put together $1.9 million? Would you go ask friends and family for money to buy a house in Colorado? It's very, very strange. And look, one thing that is very informative, the best predictor of future behavior is past performance, right? So when people do psychological evaluations, they get a narrative, they get an idea of what the behaviors are that are happening now, whether they're problematic or they're effective behaviors. Still take an inventory of all that is happening in the present, and then you go through an investigation of sorts, and you begin to collect data points. And it may be school records, it may be stories from best friends, it may be information from old employers, it may be current wife or ex-wife, children, parents, grandparents, police in terms of, arrest records, did you pay your parking tickets, all that. And really what you're looking for, it's not that the cops are going to write a biography, about Barry Morphew. What they're looking for is any type of notable change from the norm. Like does Barry's history, or any criminal, does his history establish a personality style, establish a pattern of behavior, and how does the current behavior reflect on the established behavior? how does his current situation reflect on his historical situation? If they're pretty much in line, then okay, you're doing pretty good. But if they're dramatically different, now you have a place to begin to search. Something went wrong. And the little bit that I can find, because look, there's a lot of things that you don't have access to unless you're acting in an official capacity. But certainly we can go back and get old newspaper clippings that show that Barry Morphew was indeed on the A honor roll all through high school, elementary school and junior high. And I just haven't gotten to high school because there were just so many articles to read. He also won academic awards in science and end of the year art. So, Barry, as a young man, he had more depth than I think what we have come to kind of envision him. He wasn't always a closed off kind of, killing machine. There are stories out there that at one time he had empathy. At one time he was helpful and he put other people's needs before his own. So something has happened through the years, and it happens to people. It's not a very common occurrence to change personality, but there are things that can happen to people that prompt or provoke that. It can be anything from drugs to depression, some sort of mood problem, to head injury. I mean, realistically, it could be a lot. Fear makes people crazy. Feeling out of control, feeling like you have lost control of your world, can cause you to behave in a really erratic, disorganized manner. So we don't really know what happened with Barry, but I am to the point that I can say with confidence something happened. Something happened somewhere between around 2017 and 2019. If you look at the lawsuits, the reports of erratic behavior, changes in Suzanne's employment situation, there was something that happened that turned their marriage upside down. I am continuing to get a timeline together for Barry Morphew, starting from late elementary, and then we'll see where it goes. I have no idea where it'll go, but we'll see. So don't neglect the information related to Suzanne Morphew's disappearance. It's a very interesting story. I think it is a really multifaceted story. And I think as we move forward, it is going to really become shocking, is what I think. That's what I'm predicting. Now then, so he has a court appearance, a hearing, July the 22nd. That is next Thursday. All right? So I hope we're all there. Now then, Summer Wells. Today, July the 14th, which would have been 2 days ago. The state police in Tennessee turned off the Amber Alert for Summer Wells on the highway. You know how on the highway, the electronic highway signs, you know how they put the Amber Alert or the Silver Alert? They've pulled it down. It's gone. It's not up there any longer. That is very interesting, right? We'll see how it goes, but it is down. It is gone. Okay? All right. What else do I have? Oh, Okay, so one of the questions that I'm very interested in that I wish that Unmasked had asked, what's his name? David Dodson. You remember in the case of Samuel Olson, and that was the little boy from Houston, Texas, who went to go stay with his father's girlfriend because he had had an exposure to COVID. They didn't want the grandma to get COVID or something, right? He was found deceased in a plastic bin in a hotel room in Jasper, Texas, which is northeast of Houston, right? About 3 hours outside, correct? Why am I bringing up Samuel Olson in the discussion of Summer Wells? Well, here's why. Eventually, the girlfriend and two of her male friends were all arrested for the death of Samuel Olson, but not the father. Okay? What the critical turning point in that investigation, and they had around 28 days or so that they didn't know where he was. They were searching. They were given a last day of last time he was seen, which was, a couple of days. And somehow, one of the people in the investigation spoke to a teacher from the school. And the teacher said, oh, wait a minute. No. Samuel hadn't been at school since like the 30th. Like it had been like 2 weeks since he had been at school, which wasn't the story they were getting from the girlfriend. When they then began, they changed their questioning just a bit. And it wasn't, when was the last time Samuel Olson was seen alive? They changed it to, when is the last time Samuel Olson was seen by someone other than his family? Y'all remember that? When that question was asked, when is the last time he was seen by someone other than a family? It was just within days that they had his body. Okay? So I feel like that may be the operative word with the whole Summer Wells story. I know there are many of you right now, they're going, well, wait a minute. We have video of her in the back end of the truck on the 14th, right? We're choosing to believe that was recorded, right? We're choosing to believe that. But we don't know that to be true. Yeah, Tim Miller with Equisurge, he was on to that girlfriend from the very beginning. He flat out told her, we're not believing you. I'm really disappointed that you didn't come clean and keep us from wasting 30 days. But I feel like there's enough people calling into question the video and the photograph from the back seat. If we took that off the table, then, and we also had the swimming hole, right? Then are we sure that the last time that she was seen was at the swimming hole, or was it before then? And I don't know. I'm just, it's a question that I'm putting out there. And I'm absolutely certain the police have already, they've already explored this. I would be willing to bet. I think it's not a good sign that the Amber Alert has been pulled. I'm not sure that is positive. I continue to be quite concerned about the young woman's voice in the truck with Candace. I really don't believe that it is the grandma Candace. And I have to be honest. I wonder, could it be Allie? And I don't know if any of you guys have tried to compare those two voices. Allison, the supposed ex friend, mother of Macbeth, that voice with the short voice that we get in The Truck with Candace, the young woman. That would be an interesting comparison for me. But I think most of us are in agreement. It just isn't likely to be an older woman who is also a cigarette smoker, right? It hasn't been pulled, just taken off the high. Yeah, that no. I did say that, Philly. It was pulled off of the electronic highway signs. Yes. Okay. We still don't have any. This was another question for Dodson. He says in the interview with Unmasked, he says that little Summer, that she really didn't talk much, but that she was really outgoing and she would come up to anyone and wave at them and smile. He says she's not really verbal. He uses that. He says she's not really verbal, then he changes it almost immediately so it can kind of get glossed over, but he definitely says it. I kind of wish that we would have had an opportunity, and maybe Unmasked can get David Dotson come back on the show, but it would be nice to know, does she speak at all, or is she truly nonverbal? I know that some videos, it sounds like she may be trying to sing, but it is very garbled. She didn't talk to him because he's creepy. What do you mean, Honest Rage? So Carol Johnson wonders if perhaps the young woman's voice is actually Ally Macbeth. Okay. That, Teresa, that question is on my list of questions. If the two Candaces went into the ER, that all emergency rooms have video surveillance, right? They would definitely have surveillance of Summer. Honest Rage, I'm not sure who you're talking about. She didn't talk to him because he's creepy. So sad they have to do that. Do have lots of billboards with it on there. Several around Nashville. She speaks. Honest Rage says that she does speak. Do they know for sure her dad was at work? If you go with the theory the boys were at home while Mom and Summer were swimming, could Dad have been there with them? No, I think it's been established Don was at work. And his time of arrival was consistent with him driving from work. The boys probably would be old enough to stay in their own house by themselves, I would guess. I haven't heard any videos of her speaking, but wouldn't they have put that in the Amber Alert like Joe Clyde Daniels? Well, that's what I'm wondering, really. It seems like a possible disconnect, but there is something called selective mutism, where the child can speak, but in multiple settings will choose not to speak, or their throat muscles will get real tight and they're incapable of speaking. Okay, I know she was laughing while on the swing when another person was with her. Not sure if she talked. And like I said, there is some video of her like singing, but it's fairly garbled. But that could have been the function of her simply not knowing the words to the song, right? I would think Walgreens would have surveillance cameras as well. Okay. Well, Rowan, you know, I'm a country girl, and I feel much safer in the middle of the dark in 100 acres than I do walking the streets of a big city. I, so they lived in a very rural area, and they were at the top of a mountain, and there were neighbors, but they were through such thick brush, and there were many dogs out on the property. So I would assume if the kids were old enough not to have a disaster like a fire, or something like that, they probably would do fine. Baked cake, yeah, I agree, YouTube, and just the world in general is crazy. Monkeypox was diagnosed by CDC in Texas. What the hell is monkeypox, Muffy? She was a very friendly little girl. I don't think she knew a stranger. Um, Thank you, Fame. I'll have to check my email. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. Thank you, though. I really appreciate that. Yeah, see, that's something else, SK Bugged. Candace is saying that she does not walk. Like, that she's not even making any bones about it. So, why does the police scanner actually say that the mother went for a walk, came back, the baby was gone? Parents are giving the impression it is extremely dangerous. Well, I would imagine that it's dangerous in terms of like bears, especially this time of year. You have to, you know, lock your trash up and not leave dog food out, just safety things like that, so you don't attract the bears to your property. It's there are steep, uh, like big rocks that you could fall off of. Monkeypox is a form of smallpox, but less serious. You know what it sounds like, Rowan? It sounds like a whole lot of little bugs escaped from the Wuhan, virology lab, doesn't it? And you said we have it in Texas today? Fun. I want to know the real reason she picked the 15-year-old boy. She picked him up, then got grandma, took summer swimming, got the prescription, and then took him home. The boy went swimming with him. That's in the video. He's going into the water. He's got his swimming trunks on. It does appear to be Lisa Peterson, and that actual someone asked me to look at that the video and see what I thought about the length of her hair compared to the picture in the back seat of the truck. And that was actually what got me thinking about this. So when I look at that video, even if I move it around to different parts of the video, it does appear that the hair is at least an inch or two longer than what is in the back of the truck. Um, so I got to thinking about that, and I said, okay, well, if we can't, if we're not going to trust, if if we go by the length of her hair in the swimming video, then what does that say for the video, the TikTok video that was uploaded with her in the back seat of the truck? And if she's able to upload that, and it looks like it was uploaded on, I don't remember what date. Do y'all know what date they claimed it was uploaded on? Oh, well, I guess they said it was uploaded on the 14th, right? Uh, is it not? No, not it. What day did she go missing? Was it May? No, it must have been June the 24th, I guess. Is it June the 24th? She went missing? Toward the end of June, okay? Then why couldn't the swimming video also have been uploaded on that same day to give the illusion that those things occurred on that date? If that's the case, and I'm assuming, y'all, that the police can look, they can do the analysis. They can ask for a subpoena and get the actual date of upload. So it would be enough to trick us, but it's not going to trick the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the police force. But if that is the case, then the question, when is the last time that the baby was seen alive by someone other than family, then it becomes important, right? The swimming was not planned. They went there while waiting on the prescription to be filled. And yet both Macbeth and Summer had swimming suits, swimming trunks. Does that make sense? Is that better, T, please? That's right. If the swimming was unplanned, why did they have swimming suits? So Rose Meyer was at the grandma's trailer for a few days after Summer disappeared. Curious to hear whether law enforcement searched Rose's vehicle before she left the property. If you can't hear Jules, turn up your volume. Thank you, Tiffany Marie. I did turn my microphone up as far as it would go. I hope that helps. Now Allie says the swimming was planned. Didn't she? Was supposed to be fishing? Yeah, did she really go missing on the 15th? Yeah. Tiffany Marie, what was the official date of her disappearance? Was it the 14th or the 24th? Good, T, please. Sorry about that. Thank you, Stormy. Never shocks me what an addict will do. Anyone who went up there and left to leave to another state should be investigated. Absolutely, Tiffany Marie. 100%. There are even people that speculate that somehow Barry Morphew was able to move Suzanne's body back to Indiana for burial. Well, apparently, okay, so it was June the 15th. Okay, for some reason I had in my head the 14th, and then I was like, no, that can't be. Okay, so thank y'all, June the 15th. Okay, so this brings up, I think, one of the biggest red flags that says Candace is hiding something important. Now, Don says that he took his polygraph 3 days after she went missing because he was so upset. and it is true, you would want the person that you are polygraphing to be as calm as possible. Well, Candace waited 5 days. Apparently, Macbeth also took a lie detector test because they came back to get Candace because she was deceptive. Now, people are saying you failed or you passed or you failed or you passed. The truth is that she was deceptive on several of the big questions. Okay? Now, what is so amazing to me, and I'm beginning to get to the point that I'm beginning to think that maybe Candace may be intellectually maybe a little more concrete in thought than we would expect given her age, or she's using substances and so she's not really aware of who might be listening to her. But the truth is that when she was in the back seat, being driven to the police station for another polygraph, she called Macbeth. She called Macbeth. She said, I'm on the way back for another polygraph test. I failed the first one. And then there's a little speculation about, did she say, what did you tell them? Or did she say, I wonder why I failed? Or did she say, did you fail yours? And that part is confusing, so it's not even worth trying to talk about. But the very fact that she is picked up to go and take a polygraph that she was deceptive on in the first go around. Well, Honest Rage, they did not say that her first one was inconclusive. They said that she had some notable questions that she was deceptive. That's a whole different ball game than saying inconclusive. She went back for the second one, and we do not know what the final determination was on the second one. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, no. Don Wells said yada, yada, yada. Look, there are enough documented differences in story where Candace says one thing, Don says something different, and there's like completely different stories. There have been enough examples where the story that they're giving completely changes. So at this point, with the inaccuracies that they're providing, the changing of the look, here's what you would read if you read an article, a report about them. They are poor historians. They're not giving accurate information. Therefore, if you're an investigator, you're not going to believe anything they say. You're not going to waste all your time and take the possibility that you would accidentally accept one of their lies. So the answer that Don Wells gave, I think what was the newest one, although it's possible I could have missed one, I think the answer he gave was something like, we passed them, but they're not admissible in a court of law. And that was the answer for, have you been cleared? And the police, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, they are on record as saying that no one has been cleared. So there is disinformation coming out. Now, whether that disinformation is coming out due to lack of sophistication on some part, or because someone wants to maybe control the narrative or improve the image. We don't know why, but we do know we have the documented differences, we have the inaccurate history, we have the statements that are factually incorrect on the surface, and therefore you would be foolish to believe what they are telling you. So no, Candace did not pass her a polygraph, and the way that law enforcement said it, that there were answers that were deceptive. She went back, but here's the big huge red flag for me. Why would she get in a car to be transported to go take a second polygraph because the first one was deceptive, and she chooses to call Macbeth? Any thoughts on that, Honest Rage? What do you think about that? Why would she choose to contact a 15-year-old boy? That was a lie. What was a lie, Honest Rage? Oh, about Candace going for a walk. I see it now. Okay. All right. See, Cammy, yeah, they're people have different feelings about it. For me, I listen to Don Wells, and some of what he says strikes me as legitimate. He does seem to really be grieving, but I cannot make a statement on whether I think that he's helping hide something. So I do think he's grieving. I think whatever happened, he's really sad about Summer. The mother, I just struggle. She's just so numb from what appears to be substances. I think that when we look at her social media, it appears that she hasn't grown emotionally, socially. She hasn't really matured to her chronological age. It's almost like, her sister went missing and she just stayed a teenager. And that, of course, can cause a lot of problems for a 40-something-year-old woman, right? I think that Don Wells throws out a lot of chaff during his interviews, meaning he gives back a lot of information that seems to be designed to make people think about something else and to quit thinking about Summer went missing. That is worrisome to me. But I don't get the feeling he planned something and did something. I could be so wrong. All we're doing, all of us, we're watching what is publicly available, and then we're just developing our own opinions, and we don't have any additional information that no one else has. The cops keep all of that so close to the vest now that really, none of us really have good value, predictive value in our opinions. We're just kind of going by what we see publicly and then what our own life experiences have been, and that's what we have to live with until the cops do something. So, if David Dodson, if Unmasked could speak again with David Dodson, there's a very important question that I would really like to have the answer for. And David Dodson, if you ever run across my channel, and I'm small channel, so the chances are not very high, but if you do, I would like to know when I know you met Summer and the Wells family about 3 months before the disappearance, correct? So the question that I have for you is, did Summer and her family only recently start attending service at your church? Or are you the one that is new to their church? Right? It sort of sounds like to me that maybe you are an established member of your church and they may be transferred from another Seventh-day Adventist into y'all's church. So I just would like a little bit of information related to how long have they been a member of the church? Let's see. H is a blood. Are you talking about the Bloods and the Crips? Thank you, critters. I appreciate you so much. They've been going to SDA for years, since Summer was a baby. He said him and Robin came together, but Robin said different. So, Miss Breedlove, so he did say, let me get this right, so be ready to type, Breedlove. He said that Candace called him, I can't remember, let's see, was it about 8, no, it was about 7:30. She went missing, they made the call at 5:30. By 7:30, they called David Dodson, whom they had only known 3 months. They called David Dodson and said, Candace said she was trying to reach Robin, and did he know how to get in touch with her? And he said he did get in touch with her, and then they arrived out there at the Wells house at around 8:30. And when they got there at 8:30, the dogs and the drones, the officers, they were all already there. Is that correct? I had that thought, Michelle. Okay, so Robin said she was teaching her Bible school for 3 years. Okay. So was David Dodson the new person? I thought that it was interesting too, that there had been, David Dodson recalls, so David Dodson was new. Well, you know what else I find very interesting? I find it interesting that he talks about how approximately 10 days before she goes missing, that she's so cute at the church garage sale. Oh my goodness, Frilly. I didn't watch it because it's just horse manure, but I did see a video come up that the title of it was something about Summer's church being a cult. Did you notice that? Now Mandy Brown is saying that the preacher said that the Wells were going to church for 3 months or 3 years. They came from the Baptist church. Wow. Okay, now that doesn't do away with the whole vacation Bible school, because kids do to go to different churches because Bible schools are normally held during different weeks, so the kids get to have multiple fun, right? So it is possible that she would have been taken to a couple of different churches on different weeks for Bible school. Wait a minute, Latrell. Wait, I don't understand what you wrote. Has anyone seen the YouTuber Dawn Buchanan? Last visited David Cohen. Wanted to buy Summer. And Robin contacted him. What? What the hell? What you talking about, Lewis? Let me see what the hell this is. You say Dawn Buchanan? Y'all entertain yourselves. I'm on the Google. I could get lost down a rabbit hole. I got accused of taking Summer Wells? What? What? What?
Last night was pretty interesting. As you all know, I'm kind of new to this YouTube thing. Didn't really realize that I was going to get what I got last night.
Okay, I'm going to do this. I am not, please hear me, I'm not, I am going to save this though. Let me upload this. Okay. Share screen. Share audio. All right. I'm not going to play like this whole thing, but I do think that this is enough that we ought to see what this is about, and then I think he won't mind if everybody goes and watches the whole thing, right? So this should be fascinating. He claims that now this video came out on the 15th, so it came out yesterday, and he is about to tell us what he experienced the night of the 14th. it sounds like he may have been accused of taking summer. So let's see what he's talking about.
Got a freaking email. And I guess this comes with the territory. I don't know. I'm not really talking to. I'm gonna talk to some YouTubers and see if they get the same stuff. But I get this email from this guy last night. David Cohen. And David, if you're watching, bud, you started this fight. So, I get this weird email from this David dude that says, basically insinuating that I've got Summer and I took her and I'm always making videos on the road. Dude, I'm making them going to and from work, okay? There's a lot of people on here that make videos from their car. And the reason I do make videos from my car is because nobody bothers me. I ain't got no studio. You know, I'm not rich like some of these other people that's got like, or I don't know if they're rich, but somehow they've got a studio or they've got like a spare bedroom or a den or something that they can go make videos in. I don't have that, so I just make my videos kind of on the fly, unedited. I might throw a few snippets in there, but yeah, I'm gonna throw some snippets in here. I'm gonna throw some email screenshots that this weirdo nut job sent me, talking about insinuating that I've got Summer Wells and or I've taken her and I've got her with someone else. Anyway, and then he goes on to say that the TBI is gonna come find me and like blow my what's out.
Okay, well, there's that. That's kind of crazy, right? And then also you guys say that he is claiming that Robin messaged him. Is that's accurate? That Robin messaged him? You also said that someone named David, let's look, David Cohen made the accusations, I believe is what you said. Are we talking about David Cohen, the Stanford professor? Please tell me we're not talking about David Cohen, the Stanford professor. I don't see anything here that would be about Summer Wells. Let's see. Dr. David Cohen. Wait. Family friend says parents, brothers Summer Wells have had a difficult time. This looks like David Dodson. That doesn't do. Summer Wells' father talks about his criminal past. Not having much luck finding this. Okay, I'm going to go back to the chat. Okay, you guys are telling me, no, it's not the doctor. David Cohen is a Bushcraft D's. Bushcraft D's. And this is on Rose Bly. Is this Face Off? Is that the one you're interested in? Yes or no? Face Off? Yes. Okay, good. All right. All right, everybody. So let's try this one. Share. All right, here we go. They look alike. Could be family, right? My niece looks a lot like me in the face. The family, this person, Rose, has now entered another dimension. It's all a scam from within. Summer was kidnapped by her own family and sold. Woo! Planting flowers, harvesting. Such a beautiful little girl. She's so pretty. That David Cohen that was in your chat earlier, he pops in on lives, makes strange comments, and it was about his white carpet, which had nothing to do with the topic of the screen. I didn't see that, Pippi Longstocking. I'm a little glad that I missed it, actually. So, Rose Myers joke that she is missing Rose Bly drives you crazy. It's a very difficult topic, isn't it? David wanted to split the money with him. Wow. Frilly, I think you were right. Everybody's going, yeah, play it. Frilly was like, oh my God, please don't. Oh my God, please don't. I should have listened to you, Frilly. I have long come to value your opinions. One of these days, I'll learn to listen to you. I don't think they did it for money. The grandma's living in a bus in Don and Candace's yard. Who ID? Oh, who is Rose Meyer? Let's see. Who is Rose Meyer? Oh, so you did not want to watch Face Off. Let's see. And y'all remember, family genetics are powerful things. In family can the facial facial features can definitely travel around through offspring and babies. So just because they look alike, they may be family. It may be an aunt and a niece, or something like that.
For
I agree, and Manta.
No thing. Longing is the music of our sphere. The gift of life is never more or less. It starts at any time you like and ends in just a wink. Pass me the light, baby.
See, I want to point something out, y'all. You see the missing tooth, right? Look at how long her hair is. See how it's getting kind of shaggy here? Even over here. Her tooth is missing in the picture in the back seat of the truck, but her hair is very, very short. I mean, it's clearly hair right here. It's fuzzy. See right there? The hair, the picture in the back seat, that looks like a halo of hair right there. Huh. Shirley would be interested to know why they cut her hair. See, this picture of her in the back seat, it's more consistent with this. Look right there, hair is much longer. See how it's kind of hanging over the edge of that? And what was that? Was that, what was the date? We got a date on this picture. I have to go back and look, try to remember which date it was. Or not remember, but find the date for it. Very short hair, look. Very, very short. Y'all see what I mean? That tooth went missing. That's when she got shaved. You know, when I look at this picture, if you look at her chin, it looks in line with the top bone. But not on Rose Bly. See how her chin is much further back? Almost like her bottom teeth are jutting forward. See that big indentation here? Not there on this picture. And there would be a fairly good shadow if that were the case, because you're getting a shadow here and you're getting a shadow from the nose here. So if this were jutting back like that other picture, you would see a shadow on her chin. I think this is a family member. I think this is a blood relative, and they just look alike. I mean, they look very much alike. See, you can see it. It's a softer chin going back here. Could be a genetic anomaly. Definitely has some hair right here. You can see it on the outside of that ear right there. It's definitely growing out in this picture. I have to start. I think I'll go back to Facebook. All right. Okay, everybody. Let's see. I'll go ahead and end this. Okay, one more topic. Brief topic. She's so sweet, and such a pretty little girl. It's really sad. The red truck. So there has been an update on the red truck, and it is this. They found the truck in another county, and the license plates were removed from the truck. And when they collected the truck and they ran the VIN, it was actually the red truck that is in fact neighbor of the Wells. And we got that information about him being a neighbor, I believe, from Tiffany Marie and AB, if I remember correctly. So that, I felt like that was a really interesting development. Yeah? If you think that's interesting, put a 1. Grandma Candace left her husband for Rose Myers. She started GoFundMe for Rose Bly and Summer. Were they living together as like lovers, or were they friends, or what's the story? Cassie, Roku. There are baked cake. Thank you for being here tonight. I will say that some of the photographs are troubling because she does look like she is, under the influence. I've noticed that. Police, let's see, was that red truck neighbor information confirmed by law enforcement? No, David Dodson reported that information on Unmasked. I thought it was interesting given the fact that Tiffany Marie and AB were the ones that found that one of the neighbors had the red truck. Also, law enforcement did say that the red truck was down at the bottom of the hill by the driveway, correct? Sorry, everyone, I'm in the wrong place. Oh, my goodness, Advocate. I do that all the time. You're fine. Well, you know what, Mary? Thank you for that. So Mary says the red truck has not been located. The story about it being in a different county is false per law enforcement. So why would David Dodson want to put out a lie like that? Imagine. I'm telling you, I have, let me put it this way. David Dodson has not yet won over my trust. I remain skeptical of him. I am not skeptical of Robin, but I remain skeptical of David Dodson. I'm partially skeptical of Allie. I'm not sure what her motivations are, but it does look like she's being a concerned and loving mom. So giving her the benefit of the doubt, right? But right now with David Dodson, he sounds like a nice person. He sounds like he's being helpful and kind. But this story about the red truck not being truthful, the disagreement between, whether he brought Robin or they arrived at different times. There's just some things that are, I just haven't been able to give him my trust. Well, there is a red truck like that registered to one of the neighbors, like within 4 miles of the house. So, I mean, it would, the law of statistics, chance would tell you perhaps that is the truck. But if it is, why are they saying that they continue to look for the truck? I don't know. This is a very unusual case. I know you don't give much thought to psychics, but I watched SB last night, and she said she felt the hair being shaved was done for punishment. That is also my opinion, Lit Lolo. I think that is why both Summer and Candace had their hair shaved, because of the blue hair dye. A young man close to oldest boy's age who is also an acquaintance, a master deacon in the third. I can't remember. Oh, so they're implicating church members? Yeah, we shouldn't do that. Not without some credible link, right? Look, church members are going to step up to help members of the congregation. They're going to do that, and that's okay. Let's see. Frilly says, and listen, y'all, I have a great deal of respect for Frilly's opinions, okay? So, so the guy camping near the property is interesting. His profile on Facebook is weird. He is always talking about a missing child. Anyone else see that? Do you know the name of the person or not the name of the person, but the name of the Facebook page? Aha, Tony Breen, that's interesting. Pastor made a point to say that Don is not a member of the SDA church. Very interesting. Yeah, I think so too, Baked Cake. Yeah, no, I definitely a church will absolutely respond in force to a member of the congregation that has any kind of a problem, whether the house burns down, whether you lose your job, whether there's like a terrible divorce or a child goes missing. And they're going to respond by offering, physical support, prayers. They're going to cook food and bring food. They'll bring clothes. I've seen before where a house burned down and the congregation got together and not only rented a new home, but furnished the whole house with new furniture and clothing. So that is actually really, really consistent with, church membership in the South. It's just what we do for each other. Okay, so the guy is named Jackie Dobbs. Is that right, Slinky Moon? Jackie Dobbs? Let me look it up. Oh, not YouTube, it's Facebook, right? Let's see. Oh, internet's slow tonight. Here we go. Alright, Jackie Dobbs. That's, I'm assuming, the guy that is camping out by the house. Jackie Dobbs, Rogersville? No, this can't be it. I think I'm misunderstanding what y'all are saying. Let's see. There's a picture on Robin's Facebook of Dotson hiking with a group of people. I don't either, Libby Star. That whole 10% tithing, that's common in the Methodist Church as well. And Furley, you're talking about Jackie Dobbs, right? Okay, Jackie Dobbs from Georgia. His profile is gone. I guess so. I guess sounds like he's gotten a lot of attention. Interesting. Oh my. It's a huge whale. Gracious. It's very cool. That's something I'd like to go do right there. Alright, I'm going to have to search for that content. I am not finding it. But like y'all said, maybe he took it down. He might have gotten weirded out by all the attention that he was garnering, right? Yeah. He made a point to say he was at a motel on the 15th. I saw the post. He took off to go up north somewhere right after that. Well, that makes him a target then to bring in for questioning in my book. Hi, Alley Cat. Jackie Dobbs has pictures of missing children on his Facebook page, but not of Summer. He left the day after she went missing. Like I said, that makes him prime to me. That does. He should be brought in. Hi, Mama 4. I so appreciate the way you speak on your videos. So refreshing after listening to so many channels that are discussing drama. Yeah, we're going to try to avoid that, Mama 4. Every now and then it slips out because I get amused by some of the antics. But, yeah, it's boring. It gets so boring, right? This is old. She could have gone to speech classes and been fine. Of course, meet me. Absolutely. They moved back after a couple of months. Sheriff said the next day they found a lot of red trucks, just not the right red truck. Jules, I found his Facebook. Oh, Robin. They do, Caledonia. That is correct. And many of those churches are opening their doors, their arms to welcome in people with substance abuse issues that are trying desperately to start over and start a new life. So we have to be forgiving as long as someone's trying. Now, if they're not trying, then you don't want to welcome them into your home, right? No, he's a guy, Libby Star. Jackie Dobbs appears to be a guy that was just like camping out near to their house, and he had some shady behavior. On his Facebook, he had all these pictures of missing kids, and he was right there next door on the 14th, stayed in a hotel on the 15th, and then he immediately left town, even though he'd been like this big advocate. So he's just got some unusual behaviors. Doesn't make him a murderer. Thank you, Red Hot Mama. That's all right, Mama. That's all right with me. Thank you, Full Moon. Thank you for being here. Hi, Michelle Clifford. Thank you for being here. So much. You possibly know that's the trail Don was referring to. I know there's been people who say the members of the church should have reached out to get help for Summer. How do we know they didn't? They could have made one of the cop calls. And can I be fair here, main girl? If they had only been going there for 3 months, there may not have really been time to fully understand just how dysfunctional things were. Right? You're trying to be forgiving, trying to be open and welcoming, trying to give people a place to grow and heal their wounds. So it's possible it just wasn't enough time to get to know them very well. So Jackie Dobbs has a red truck. The plot thickens. I think they are too, Meep. Yeah, I agree, Libby Star. It is possible that of all the people at the church, that it was Robin that did the most to get to know the little girl. Right, Libby? Well, great minds think alike, Libby. So there is a Kentucky story that Frilly Farmhouse would like to share about a baby, Angel Overstreet. Frilly, have you done a video on Angel? Jojo, can you send the link to my email? My email is foolsinsay. Well, here, let me type it in. Would you send the link to Jackie Dobbs' Facebook to my email, please? I agree, Caldonia. What are the, wait a minute, what? What are the 3 dots on top of Summer's head? I don't know. You know, this picture right here is untouched, right? Look at how smeared this is. It could be candy, okay? It's very smeared, but who does not see that bruise right there? That's the blue part of the bruise, and if you zoom in, you can see the red right here, and then there's pink all around here. I find it amazing that people argue and say, no, it's not a bruise. The light is shining. Look how white her hair is where all the sunshine is shining in. Except for right there. Look at it. I'm amazed that people try to say that it's not a bruise. It's clear. No one's saying she's deceased. No one is saying that she's, she looks alive, right? But it does in fact look like a fairly significant bruise. Yeah, so remember she's lying sideways. So one would expect that gravity would be pulling this side of her face down. But in a weird way, it does look like she's a little too far over. But it could just be optical illusion. It does look like there may be a little bit of an abrasion down here on her neck. But there's just no way of knowing for sure because it's so dark. It's so shaded down there. But you can't discount that. It's clear what that is. And that doesn't mean that she is deceased. I'm not saying that she is deceased. I agree, Yvette. Look at the part that goes out back behind her ear. I don't know why. It's kind of sad that people want to just follow their cult leader YouTube creator. You don't have to listen to what your favorite YouTube creator tells you. You have a brain. Use it. I would like for you to examine the reflections in the photo. If I could send a picture through here, I would show you what I mean. Reflections in the photo. Will you, Tiffany, do you think that you could send me the photo that you want me to look at? Send it to my email. It's the sweetest little face, critters. Absolutely. Well, there is video flyer where Robin is standing with Candace at the memorial balloon release, and Robin is absolutely in grief, and Candace is just very cold. Look at his photos on June 14th. He was in the Ben's Hill area. Wow. I agree, Truth Seeker. Yeah, that's what I wonder, Bake Cake. Especially when you consider that Macbeth said that she slipped on the rocks. I'm not saying that anybody did anything horrible to her. I'm just looking at the picture for what it is, right? And it does in fact appear like a new bruise. It's purple, it's blue right here. There is notable red here. It appears there may be swelling, and then you've got the pink tinge around the outside. I didn't do anything to this. Now, in the videos I'm talking about it, I do manipulate saturation and contrast. So, but it's right there. I can't go far from me. Thank you for saying looks like bruises on both sides of her head. I can't. I see what you're talking about, but I'm not willing to go that far. And here's the reason why. Because this part of her head is down toward the floorboard, right? So there is no direct light that is getting to this area. This side, however, has light shining on it from all directions. And you can see the difference in how white her hair is right here compared to like over here. She's got a ton of light that's shining on her. Look at the face. You can see how white all this is. That's the direct sunlight. If this is the area with the greatest degree of sunlight, then if this is not a bruise, including fresh bleeding here, then what is it? There's way too much light shining on that area. Oh, you know what, Frilly? That has happened. That has absolutely happened where there's a party and somebody backs up into a child who may be riding a bicycle or playing in the driveway. Yep, absolutely. Northern Akashic Healer. No one is claiming to be a police officer. No one. I have said many times, this is my opinion, and then I use publicly available information to support my opinion. No one has attacked the family. No one. We will discuss these things in a responsible way. Her right cheek? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I saw that, Cassie Roku. Now that is a point, Tony, that I have spoken of. Summer looks so pale and thin in the video of her wearing the blue plaid shirt with her hair about as short as in the truck video during the singing with Robin. Yeah. I think maybe Candace, well, I'm not sure, me. Tony Bream, she keeps staring into the audience, then tries again to get Robin to pick her up and keeps jumping. Right. I sent you an email. Please check it out when you can. I will, Daisy. Thank you so much for sending. I love to get emails. Under the seat belt, the red look poppers maybe. Trying to put cold on the forehead. Okay. It's milk, meant to be handled by human skin, not a lethal object. Well, no, obviously, Kate. No, I agree. However, it is very cold, right? So the effect is, if you've got a gallon of milk that is cold, it's been in the refrigerator at the grocery store, and you lay your head on it, it doesn't conduct the heat like, let's say, a bottle of water would. And you leave your head on it long enough, it's going to start burning. Cold is very damaging to the cells of the human body, just as damaging as fire is to the cells of the human body. You don't believe me? Look up frostbite. Just get on Google, type in frostbite, and look at the photographs. It is a burn, just like a flame burn. It gets treated like a burn in the hospital, and it is, from a cellular perspective, it's devastating. Cold is very painful. Maybe she had a bump there. Let's see. Constricts after 20 minutes. I'm not going to stop researching and discussing our sweet summer. This is real. She's captured my heart. Tony Bream, I really don't think that there is a problem discussing publicly available information, as long as you are very clear about what is opinion and what is fact. And just like I said a while ago, David Dotson came out and said they found the red truck in another county. They had taken the license off of it. And then you guys came back and said, no, that's not accurate. And so I announced that is not accurate. What David Dotson said apparently wasn't accurate. Law enforcement has said they are still looking for the truck. So there is nothing wrong with that. And I also have not allowed anyone to point a finger at the family and say, you harmed this child, you killed her, you made her disappear. We have not allowed that at all. We have had a discussion about the emerging information and evidence. And I have said time and time and time again, there is no illusions about solving a case. I'm just a YouTube creator. There's no way I'm going to solve a case because I don't have the information. But the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has the information, and the Tennessee State Police, they have the information, and the local county police, sheriff's department, they have the information. It will be they that solve this case. But in the meantime, there are a lot of people that are very interested, and they do want to bring pressure so that this case gets handled. Just like Suzanne Morphew. Do you really believe that they would have continued to investigate for a year if there had not been so much public interest? So that is one of the powers of social media and true crime, is to provide awareness and pressure to law enforcement. People are watching. It motivates them if they know that something could come from it. Okay, if no clothes were found at their home, she must have had them on under the jacket. She had spare clothes. Yeah, that does make sense. It wasn't planned, but both she and Macbeth had swimming clothes. It's odd, right? Yeah, it's very strange. Okay. All right, y'all. You guys have been wonderful. I've really enjoyed spending my Friday evening with y'all. Thank you so much for being here. As I said, much of this is my opinion. Where it's fact or known fact, I have stated so. No one is pointing the finger at Don and Candace, but we are pointing out when we see, obvious inconsistencies, changing stories, those things matter. And we don't believe we're going to solve any crimes here, but we can provide motivation for law enforcement to see this through and not let it turn into another Delphi. All right? Well, look, y'all have a great, exciting, happy, and fun Friday night. And I'll be back tomorrow. All right? I hope you guys sleep well and sleep in late tomorrow. It's Saturday. Talk to you later. Bye.